Hey everybody, Justin here with Doing Things channel. And today's video, I'm going to do some steps on putting some headliners in my 2017 JK Unlimited. I went ahead and did some research on headliners, and I actually saw a guy with the JK at a car show a few weeks back, and he had the Hothead headliners in his Jeep. And they looked great. They fit in the panels really well. So I did some more research and decided I was going to go with them. So I went ahead, went online, went to Amazon and ordered them on Amazon. I probably should have just gone straight through the company, but I was ordering a whole bunch of stuff on Amazon anyway, and figured I would just go ahead and add those to the order as well. So I added those to the order. I did the whole top, and I also got the two rear window panels as well. And when I did that, for some reason, I ordered the black for the top and the gray for the sides, and I'm not sure how that happened. I wasn't paying attention or something. But the owner, Mark Ambrose, called from Hotheads because he saw that they were two different colors, and he just wanted to make sure that that's what I was ordering or if I needed something different. So he actually called me to reach out to make sure that the order was right, which it wasn't, and that was completely my fault. But he went ahead and fixed it, and the one thing that I couldn't find on Amazon was the Sound Assassin, and I wanted to add that Sound Assassin. So he fixed the order. I told him I wanted the Sound Assassin added to it, and he just shot me a quick invoice. I went right on and paid it through PayPal and was done, and within a couple days my order was here. Super nice on the phone. I could tell he was busy and doing a lot, but he took that extra time to call me and make sure that he shipped me the right stuff instead of sending me the wrong stuff. Even though that's how I ordered it, I would have had to send it back and go through that process. But I just thought that was, class on his part, to call me and take some time to make sure the order was right, and then to talk to me about the Sound Assassin and stuff too. So total kudos to those guys over there at Hothead Headliners. Mark seems to be a really cool guy. So if you're looking to add a headliner in your JK, definitely look up the Hothead's headliners. So far, the quality is awesome. I went ahead yesterday and put in the two Freedom panels. You can't really see it, but it's above me there. I went ahead, I was kind of anxious, so I went ahead and installed those yesterday. But I mentioned the Sound Assassin. I went ahead and ordered the Sound Assassin as well. I figured putting that in there would just give me a little bit extra, sound deadening on there. These new Jeeps are actually not too bad, really. But I figured, what the heck, it was just a few bucks more to order the Sound Assassin. And basically they come as these strips. And these strips, what they do is they fit up in the indentations up in the panels. And so they go in there and just add that extra sound deadening. So I went ahead and ordered the Sound Assassin. It came with those. They send you the sandpaper that you need. It's a P100 grit, and that's just to scuff, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. That's just to kind of scuff the surface before you put it on. And then also he sent a nice roller for the Sound Assassin, is what I'm assuming, because there's a square kind of wooden particle board that you use to put pressure on these panels, but he sends this roller, and that's what we use to roll that Sound Assassin on there. But again, I just want to emphasize, how Mark called me and made sure my order was right. Like I said, I thought that was great. I've ordered some parts through some other companies for the Jeep, and I'm still waiting on them. And every time I call customer support, they're just kind of like, well, it's coming, it's on its way. And so when Mark called me on these, it made me feel really good about it. So definitely hit those guys up. So far, the quality, these two that I've put in the sport panels, they fit awesome. They fit right in there. They look like they belong there. So I'm really impressed. The black matches, the interior black on there really well. So I'm looking forward to getting the middle panel and the rear panel, and then the two window panels put on. I'm not going to show that whole process. I know there's some other videos out there. I'll just show a couple little things as I'm doing it, and then I'll show you the final, what it looks like afterwards. I'm curious as well, because before I did it, the other day, it's been hot here. I'm in Colorado. It's been hot. The ambient air temperature was around 89, 90 degrees. And so I was taking some temperature measurements from inside top inside around the back windows and then outside as well, and getting the difference. And it gets hot even on here to touch. I mean, it was like over 100, 120 just to the touch. So I'm going to be curious to see when I take those temperature measurements, once I have everything in, kind of seeing how that's going to affect the temperature. I think it's going to be a huge difference, actually. They've also put on these panels, which I'll show you in a little bit, they've put a kind of a silver foil lining to help with that heat exchange as well. So I'll show those here in just a little bit. But anyway, just wanted to get this video started. I'm going to cut some stuff in here and just kind of show a few steps in the process, and then mainly show the end result. So anyway, again, it's Justin with Doing Things channel. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so here we are. We are in the very back side of the Jeep. I've already prepped the middle section. I just wanted to kind of point out a couple things on the prep side. So the sandpaper, what the sandpaper's for is you've got to scuff these. This is where the 3M tape on the headliners is going to sit. It's on that lower piece coming into the Jeep. So this is what they want you to scuff. You just got to take that sandpaper and scuff this, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times. We're not really sanding it down, just kind of scuffing it out just to get that surface clean. And then what you need to do, it's really important, is once everything's scuffed, and since I'm doing the Sound Assassin, which those strips fit into these grooves as well, it's going to be really important to take acetone and wipe this down. Just wipe the whole surface down where anything's going to be, get that really clean. They recommend doing it twice, so that's what I did. I sanded it down, got it all scuffed, went through once, wiped everything down really good with acetone, let it dry out, and then went back and did it again. So I'm going to go ahead and get these sanded, get these scuffed up, get everything wiped down with the acetone really good, let it dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and put on get the Sound Assassin put on first, and I'll show you what that looks like once we get that installed. Okay, so here we are at one of the panels. As you can see, they've labeled these panels, which is nice. So this is the rear panel, and then the arrows show you that that's going to be facing up front, which makes it nice. But as you can see, the silver barrier that they put on, I'm not sure when they started doing this, but this is kind of a new feature that they talked about. It's just one extra layer there to help with that thermal barrier, to help with the heat and cold, keeping it up out of the Jeep. And then as you can see, they've got the strips of the 3M tape here. It's the 3M VHB. It's an automotive tape, so it's very, very sticky. One of the things that they recommend doing is flipping this over on the other side, and then marking, the 3M tape's right about here, and what they recommend is taking some blue painter's tape and just kind of marking where these are at. That way when you get it hung up, you can put that pressure right on that tape instead of in between. So that's what I'm going to do next. Is I'm going to go ahead, grab some 3M tape, and tape those lines out on the panels. But as you can see, like I said, it's high quality. They label them so it makes it nice, but gonna do that. I've completely cleaned and sanded the inside. So next step, I'm gonna put the tape on here, and then I'm gonna go throw on the Sound Assassin, and then the next step will be getting these panels in. Okay, everybody, just a couple of things I wanted to show you here. So this is the middle panel, as you can see, middle panel front. But what I wanted to point out is this little cutout right here. They left that silver lining, that thermal barrier, off of there because this is where the XM antenna sits. So they didn't want anything blocking that. It sits in that sound bar there. So that's what that cutout is right here. And as you can see on this side, I went ahead and put the tape on there just so I know where those 3M strips are on there. But I wanted to point that out. And then in the back here, I just wanted to show you that Sound Assassin. I went ahead and got everything in there, cleaned in there, and you can see those Sound Assassin strips. I think they shorted me one, no big deal. I'm not too concerned about that. But you can see they go up in those grooves there, and then I used that roller and rolled them out, got them in there nice and tight up there. And then it's hard to see from here, but where your speakers are, you're gonna have to get like a long screwdriver. I got a long screwdriver and then put a rag on there
because you can't really reach in there with your hands, and you can't get that roller in there. So what I did up there in that far right corner is I got a long screwdriver, put a rag on there, and just kind of squeezed it up in there, push it up in there so it would adhere really good. So when you're doing those sections by the speakers, make sure you have a long screwdriver with a, with a rag or something in there so you can get up inside there really tight. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that what the Sound Assassin looks like on there. Obviously I got my panel sitting right here. I'm ready to go. I put the tape on this one as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 panels in there, and then get these side window panels on, and then I'll show you the finished product.
All right, so you have it. I've got everything complete. I've got the upper panels in, all the way from the front to the back, and then I also got those rear window panels put in. The installation's actually pretty easy. It took me probably an hour, and that's with taking breaks to get some video and point out some things. It's pretty easy as long as you have all your stuff. Make sure you have your sandpaper, your rags and your acetone all ready. That way you can go through, you can scuff everything up all at once, get everything wiped down really clean. Then I blew out the Jeep, tried to get some of the dust and stuff out before I started putting the liners in. And then, just tape up your liners with that blue painter's tape, so you know where the strips of 3M tape are. And just kind of have those things laying around, and then just get going. And these things fit perfect. I mean, there's like no adjustment. They just kind of go right in place. Once you stick them up there, you'll see they just kind of fit one way, and that's right in the right spot. So pretty easy install. Nothing really hard. Works your shoulders a little bit when you're reaching above your head, but other than that, it's a pretty easy install. Again, I just want to, a shout out to Mark. Like I said earlier in the video, he was great. He called, he saw something that didn't look quite right, so he called to make sure, we had everything lined up. So I appreciate that. Like I was saying earlier, if you need headliners, definitely get a contact to the Hothead headliners folks. Another thing that I did that I didn't mention earlier is I took some temperature measurements of the roof before I put the headliners on, and then after. My ambient air temperature outside is right around 80. I'm kind of partially shaded. I'm next to a tree, so I've kind of got sunlight poking through that. But I was going from 92, 93 up on the top without the headliner. And then what was interesting is I checked the temperature on the Sound Assassin, and it was down quite a bit, even from right next to where I was showing like 92, for instance. I would put on that Sound Assassin, and I was down 80, 85 to 87. So that was a huge difference. And then when I put the panels on, I let the panels sit there for a little while, and you're down 5 or 6 degrees even from there. So I think overall, and that's just in a couple spots. I think overall, if you can get a 5 degree, 6 degree, 7 degree temperature difference, that to me is huge. And I think that's going to make a huge difference both in the sun when it's hot outside, and then the wintertime. I think it's just going to help, keep that heat and stuff out. So, again, Hothead headliners, I think they're great. They look awesome. I really like the way they look. As you can see, I put some pictures in there for you to look at. I think they look great. They fit great. The quality of them being put together, you can tell, was good. The shipping, they come in a nice box. Everything's wrapped up in plastic. The Sound Assassin was wrapped up in its own bag. They taped the Sound Assassin to the box so it wouldn't slide around. The roller was in there in its package. They had it taped down to the box so it wouldn't move around, and then they had the liners in there in their own bag, packed in there nice, and they fit in that box, and that box was great. So, everything was in there. Packaging was in there. The instructions, they were all taped in there, so nothing moved around. Everything stayed in place. Everything was nice and solid. So those guys over there, they clearly like what they're doing. They take pride in their work, and it shows. I mean, like I said, the fact that the shipping, the way they pack those suckers in there and get those things ready to ship is, it shows that they really care and have pride in what they do. So, thanks to Mark over there at Hothead Headliners. I bought these headliners. I did not get these, so this is not a paid review. He didn't send me this stuff for free or anything. I paid for these. But I think they're great. They look great. I can just tell by talking in here too that the sound is it's a little bit different. So I'm excited to get out on the road and kind of drive around with it and check it out. And I've got a subwoofer in the back, so I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to make any big changes or not. But again, Hothead headliners. I will have the link to those headliners, both for Amazon and straight for Hothead's website too. I do have that affiliate program going on Amazon. I'm trying to get that going. Any money I make from that, I'm going to try to use to buy more products so that I can do more reviews, both for the Jeep and for my motorhome too. So if you're going to buy them, like I said, buy them from where you want. You can go order them direct from Hothead Headliners. But if you use that link through Amazon that's down in the description, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, again, Justin with Doing Things channel, talking about the Hothead headliners that I just installed on my 2017 JK Unlimited Rubicon. I think they're going to be great, and I'll once I drive around with them for a little while and kind of get some use out of them, maybe I'll do a quick update video just to get some good real world use out of them. So again, Justin with Doing Things channel. I appreciate you guys watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Really give those thumbs up. That really works out good. Hit that subscription button, and I'll try to get these videos out with just little things here and there. I've got a front bumper coming next, so hopefully I'll be able to get a video out on that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.